Treant Monk came out with a great video talking about how hiding is broken in both 5e and 1D&D. Let's talk about how I've homebrewed hiding to work. Invisibility, cover, and no cover are the 3 guiding principles that I use in my games, and it helps me communicate to my players very quickly and very efficiently whether or not they can be hiding or not. Welcome to Fables D20, I'm Carmichael. Let's talk some D&D nonsense and have a good time. And if you want to see me and my players use this homebrew, you can check out some of the games that we're releasing on the channel, from the Jaws campaign to the Lost Mines of Colossus. A lot of the homebrews that I talk about are used in these games. They're perfect examples of customizing your game to have a great time with your friends. How do people hide in my games? Hiding is an action when you roll a stealth check, and then rogues get to use a bonus action if they want. When you roll stealth to hide, the final total roll, that's the DC to spot you. Something I saw in 1D&D, and I really like that concept that the perception is very reactive. When I want to worry about it and when it comes up, that roll is what matters. I have it that allies have advantage on spotting you, but I do have it that if you're 5 feet away from an ally, no action required. It's essentially just whispers and gestures that you get their attention and they spot you automatically if you want them to. Okay, and so this one's a little wordy, but keep up with me. When the conditions of hiding changes, you have 1 round, 6 seconds, to either hide again or do something else, such as attack your target. So this kind of covers the idea of like, I come out of hiding around a bush or I come hiding around a wall, I'm technically no longer hiding. Well, I have the rest of my turn before I lose the benefits of hiding. If by the end of my turn I don't use the hide action and the conditions of hiding have changed, such as like revealing myself, stepping from the shadows and into bright light, I am no longer hidden. If I want to be hidden, it's an active process. I have to keep rolling to stay hidden if I take myself out of conditions that make me hidden. The specific kind of crunchiness of that, it's not something that comes up, but it's a guideline. It allows me as the DM to generally broad stroke stealth things, so I don't have to have you roll every turn. But I can, because I understand the rules and the concept that like, hey, if you're going to keep doing stuff, you should roll stealth. Or, hey, we're going to do a stealth operation. Let's roll stealth for this chapter, and then this chapter, and then this chapter. It's a concept of rules that can expand and compress whenever I need them to. Now, what ends hiding? That's very important to understand. Making sounds louder than a whisper. It's kind of a good rule. Rolling a nat 1 on stealth. Ending your turn not hidden. This kind of calls back to what I was just saying. Another way to end hiding, when you make an attack or cast a spell that deals damage, makes noises, or puts you into bright light. It's a very specific ideas of spells that you can cast and not affect your hiding, and very specific spells that do the opposite. If a hostile or enemy spots you using the search action. The search action is something in 1D&D and looks like it might be in 2024. I like it. A search action is an action or bonus action to make a wisdom check, insight, perception, a survival. It really helps keep the game economy associated with what you can do. And so if my rogue is sneaking around my guard, he rolls a stealth, I'm gonna roll a search. Simple as that. Now let's cover those 3 main things: invisibility, cover, and no cover at all. These are 3 important guidelines. Now, for the most part, I have this conceptually memorized. I'm gonna look at my notes to make sure I can give you exactly what I have built. So invisibility covers mostly heavy's obscured. There's no physical way I can spot you. You're not hiding behind anything. You're just invisible due to the circumstances around you or magically induced. So magic invisibility, thick fog, dense foliage, full darkness, or people being blind and can't see you. There is no roll necessary if you want to stealth in the conditions of being invisible. Your DC to spot you is a 20. Makes it super quick. It's really hard to spot invisible people. And if you are spotted while being invisible, probably due to footsteps, kicking dirt, affecting your environment in noticeable ways like moving brush or whopping by fire, or like candles and the smoke moves, or like light is interacting around you differently. Like we can see your shadow, photons are fabricating like the Predator almost. And the best way to think of darkness is the shadows during night. Whereas like dim light is a shadow during bright light. It's kind of a nice visual to remember. So darkness is shadows at nighttime, unlit rooms and halls, and even overcast night skies, or night skies that don't have a clear full moon. And that's invisibility. Next up, cover. When using cover, I just have you roll stealth straight. Basically, cover covers lightly obscure, which basically covers dim light, patchy fog, and light rain. It's basically hard to see you, but not impossible. Dim light, here's some examples of dim light. Twilight, dawn, and my personal favorite, which is not official in the books, but I really like it because it makes fighting werewolves more fun. Full moon or moonlit clear night skies. When you think of movies, that's dim light, like that nice blue silvery cast of light that covers the horizon or the plains and the forest. You see things moving around, you don't know what they are. That's way more interesting than nighttime is always complete darkness. So when it comes to dim light, Treant Monk did bring this up too. There are feats and abilities that affect your ability to hide in dim light. When these feats and abilities are applicable, I have you roll at advantage. Makes it easy. But what about physical covers? Because I'm mostly talking about light and just visibility, right? So let's talk about physical cover. I personally don't like 3/4 cover, not because of the AC bonus, but because when you go hide your mini behind a wall, it's like, do I get cover or half cover? And then you have this obscure third thing that really can't be measured on a grid. I'm like, it's just get it out of here. So I deal with half cover and full cover. Full cover, I consider to be behind cover when talking about stealth. I wish there were more words for cover. If you use the hide action to hide behind full cover, you roll stealth straight. If you hide behind half cover, where half your body's sticking out, I'm going to consider this no cover in the sense of visibility and stealth. So you're going to be rolling at disadvantage. Let me explain why. Half cover still gives you a +2 to AC. I love that. But if you're only hiding half your body, it should be easier to spot you. Shouldn't be easy, not as easy as like standing in broad daylight, but it should be much easier than hiding behind full cover or hiding in the shadows or hiding in the shadows at night. A great example of this is like, if I use my movement to get behind a wall, am I hidden? No, you gotta use the hide action. Right now, your enemies are aware that you chose to go over here. Hiding has to be an active choice. I hide behind my wall, I use the hide action. Great, now I can see them popping out to half cover and attacking, and a rogue using their bonus action to hide again behind the wall. I can easily see that. For a non-rogue character, they would pop out, make an attack. Well, they can't hide back, so they're at half cover. We'll go ahead and roll stealth at disadvantage, and now I'm gonna roll search to see if I spot you, because maybe I don't spot you, and I'm gonna ignore you. Simple as that. And again, a search action is just a wisdom check with an action economy associated to it. For search and study is intelligence check. I think those actions should actually also be an optional bonus action. So my monsters and my guards or my bandits can be in the middle of a fight and use a bonus action to search for the hiding rogue or the hidden sorcerer or whatever. Now, when we're talking about darkness and dim light, you might be wondering, hey, why not talk about dark vision? Why should you hide? When you're hidden, when you're invisible, you have an advantage on attack, advantage on spell attacks, and your target for spell saves get disadvantage. I really like that. That means everyone on the whole spectrum has some type of combat incentive to go hide. I also like to give anyone who's hiding a 1d6 sneak attack bonus to their damage. I don't care who you are, I don't care what class you are, go hide. Hiding gives you a massive unfair advantage in combat. If you're hiding when initiative is rolled, you roll initiative with advantage. But it's not all buffs. The nerf that comes with hiding, the consequence of hiding, is that your speed is halved. It makes sense when I think of a movie or a video game where your characters are crouching and having to be careful with how they move. I think it's fair. If you're hiding, your speed is halved, but you get the ability to do more damage and more likely to attack. Keeps the rogue from dashing everywhere. And that's my homebrew for hiding and kind of all the conditions. All my players have enjoyed it. Makes it a lot easier to run. You should try it out. I'll put it on a Google Doc down below and you can play with it on your next game. Until next time.